So last year, I wrote over 1,100 poems. And so I just reached in the pile and grabbed some. So you're either gonna like it or you're not. I think, speculate, otherwise conjecture. Most good poets are actors, not the country music ones and the oh poor me. No, the ones who take the then and now, what might be enacted out words with gestures and intent to ask, answer, be stumped by, or have this idea that we say having the right to stay silent, but knowing what we say can and will be used against us in a court of law, or worse, the ragbag wags who claim to know not only what we say, but how and why we say it. On the floor, rolling in laughter at the critic who sits in judgment, having all her poetry used for kindling knows better.
This story is called Myrtle Take That. A shaman needs a familiar, and a junkie needs to get clean. So Lazarus, the pain-addicted cat, followed me, Candace, the recently widowed medicine woman, when I left the tattoo parlor. After getting her first tat, a girl also needs to eat. And Laz said she knew someone who might give me a job. Under the blazing noon sun, we made our way from the inkwell through a rundown neighborhood near the port. I should tell you that Laz is a cat. This is it, Laz announced. I hope you're kidding, I replied. We'd walked down a side street to a storefront labeled Peg Leg. The windows were so grimy, it was hard to tell what kind of place it was. A help wanted sign hung next to the scratched and battered front door. But rather than stopping there, Laz trotted down the adjacent alley to the back parking lot. I felt the newly tattooed orca on my shoulder swishing his tail back and forth, encouraging me to follow. The scent of fish hung in the heavy air. Near the seawall, an enormous human blob of a man was washing something at a rough plywood table with a garden hose rigged to a spigot. As we got closer, I realized he was cleaning artists' paintbrushes, not fish knives. That's tentacles, thought Laz. She jogged over and rubbed herself against the blob man's legs. Tentacles? What kind of name was that? Laz, you flea-bitten mooch, he said. Unless you want yesterday's coffee, I've got nothing for you. I have something for you, said Laz. Meet Candace. The man turned abruptly. He'd not noticed me approaching. Maybe my newly tattooed aura cloak was working. He looked me over head to toe, taking his time. You a boy or a girl? I flushed. My short, skinny figure and closely cropped hair confused people sometimes. Mostly I didn't care, but today I did. I'm Candace. He grunted, don't be so sensitive. Half the people in false key are trying to be the half they're not. He turned his attention back to his brushes. Don't matter anyway, I'm not hiring. I remembered the sign out front. Was he playing hard to get? Yuck. Who said I'm looking for a job? Laz plunked herself down and licked a paw. She's from Alaska. Why else would Laz bring me one of her strays? I was really starting to hate this guy. Also, I was pretty sure the whale on my shoulder was now swimming in the perspiration between my breasts. Tentacles continued, gesturing with the brushes, flicking watery blue paint as he did so. Let me guess, Snow Maiden. You ran away from parents who didn't understand you. More like a whole village. We can't all pull off the tortured artist thing like you can, Laz said. Besides, you owe me. Always with the emotional blackmail, Tentacle said. Never gets old. Never does. Laz started on another paw. Tentacle shut off the water and dried his hands on a paint-streaked apron. Look, I said, I can get a waitressing job anywhere. I don't need your charity. I felt the orca circling a ticklish path around my belly button. Can you mix paints? Tentacles demanded. Paints or drinks? I pulled the neckline of my t-shirt away from my chest and said in a calm, stern voice, back to your shoulder. The orca swam up my torso, breached and submerged, leaving a wet streak on my ribcage. Surfacing again, it left a smudge of ink on my collarbone. Both? Said Tentacles. I need someone who can do both. I had fixed plenty of herbal and magical remedies. That had to count, didn't it? Sure, all day long. Laz stretched. Liar. Maybe only I could hear that last comment, but either way, the big man stepped closer. The fish smell was suffocating, and his bad breath nearly knocked me out. I knew it. He poked at the fresh tattoo, which had finally returned to my shoulder, and I winced and slapped him across the face. He grinned. Spunky. Lucky for you, you're about the right size, Pocahontas. I've got a uniform for you. Your shift starts at 4 o'clock. We'll give you a trial run. You mean I'll give you a trial run? He threw back his head and laughed. Anytime, baby! I turned and walked away, head held high. The effect was diminished a little as I tripped over Lazarus, winding around my feet. Why was it impossible to preserve my dignity in this place? Also, my shoulder was sore, and my tattoo was restless. I stomped off, Lazarus trotting beside me. What have you gotten me into? I asked her. You're welcome.
This is more rock oriented.
What's it called?
I don't know. Howl at the Moon?
Oh, I love it. Go for it.
Okay, that's it.
It's time to say goodbye. It's time to go. You're on your own. You're on your own. You're on your own. keys. And with one last plea, are you sure you want to go? 'Cause you're on your own, you're on your own, you're on your own. It's time to say goodbye, it's time to go. You're on your own, you're on your own, you're on your own. As you drive by 1,000 picket fences, don't forget how they once felt like prisons.
If you happen to want a CD, I have some here. They're $5 a piece. And yeah, it pays for my gas. Yeah. Thank you guys. I'm Rachel Haft or Flossie and the Fox.